Hey, I'm Dianna, you're watching Physics Girl, and this is video number 3 in the series of riddles that I'm asking to my friend Hugo Schneider, who also happens to be a really big music YouTuber. We left off in the last video with the Broom Riddle, so here's the setup for that again. Okay, so I'm gonna balance this broom on my finger so that my finger is underneath the center of gravity. For a situation like a normal broom on Earth, you could either use center of mass or center of gravity for this riddle. Okay, so I'm gonna pretend that we're gonna cut the broom right here.
Right where you balance it.
Right where I balance it. So now you have 2 pieces of this broom.
Okay.
This handle part and then the sweepy part.
Okay.
Which of these sides is heavier, or are they the same weight?
Well, this side has to be heavier because that side goes out so much further. I mean, if we just imagine a broom, which is basically like a long stick with one like enormously, massively heavy weight on this end, then the balancing point would, this side is always gonna, the balancing point would be very close to here. This side is gonna be much heavier, but this side, it still balances because that side's so far over there. So like the torques or whatever you call it balance out. This side's gotta be heavier.
Amazing! You killed that. Also, like, your reasoning was my favorite type of reasoning, which is taking the riddle and you're like, well, let's take it to the extreme, which is like, if this is super, super heavy, which obviously, you know, this part is heavier than the rest of the broom. That wasn't a given, but if you've ever felt a broom, what you're balancing is the torques.
Yeah.
So what you're balancing is the torques, and because the broom goes so far over this way, you get a long distance, and then a little bit of mass, and then big mass and short distance over here. But when you're balancing torques, which is distance times force, you're not putting those gravitational forces in those equations at the ends of the broom, but rather you diagram it so that the forces are acting on the center of mass of each of the sides. Still, the distance on the left is longer, so that mass has to be less. But there is a situation in which let me see if I can get this right. The longer side of that cut can be more massive. So think if you can come up with a situation like that. So more specifically, if you've got a rod with some distribution of mass, can you make it so that when you balance your finger on the center of mass and then cut it there, this longer side is actually more massive? If you have a guess, leave it in the comments. Moving on to the next riddle. You've already answered plenty of riddles, so like you might even want pen and paper for this.
Okay, pen and paper, got it.
Okay, I give you 2 2s. You have 2 number 2s.
Okay, a 2 and a 2.
A 2 and a 2.
All right.
You can do anything with them, with pretty common math symbols. So for example, 2 to the 2 would be 4. Okay. 2 plus 2 would be 4. 2 times square root of 2 would be...
Got it, so 2 root 2.
So you can even do like 2.2.
Got it. So I can also do like 22. I can concatenate them. You
can do 22.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want you to try and make the number 5.
Got it.
Using two 2s.
Just 2 2s.
Just 2 2s.
All right.
Symbols. These are the everyday mathematical symbols you're allowed to use.
Okay. Totally cheating if I look at one of the 2s in the mirror and call it a 5, right?
Yes. That is cheating.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, there you are.
Making sure. So I'm gonna put a 2 on top and then take the square root and then take the square root and then take the square root and then I'm gonna add a ... So an infinite square root of 2, because that approaches 1. And then divide by 0.2 for 5. So this is root ... So this is sort of just an infinite operation here.
You got around my rule. Yeah, but the ... is not listed here, and that is certainly something. Kurt, it's against the rules. But like that kind of out of the box thinking should not be squashed. It should be encouraged. And so I applaud your solution, Kurt. It's just there's a simpler way.
There's no trick. It's okay. I genuinely want to figure it out. Square root of 1 over 0.2 squared is 5. Okay, I just need to get rid of the 1. Square root of 0.2 to the negative 2. Can I use negative? Can I use negative 2? That's allowed, right?
You can use negative 2.
Okay, is that the solution?
That's it!
That's it?
Yes!
That's it! Sweet.
Yay!
Okay. Got it. There's nothing simpler than that. That was a tricky one. I have to say, that was tricky right there.
Math major right here. I feel like you shouldn't be doing only music in...
Really using that math degree. First time I've used my math degree in nearly 10 years. So. Okay, now I'm pumped. This one pumped me up.
That was really good.
Right now I'm thinking about this one though.
I know some of you can't go on with life without knowing what riddle I gave Kurt, so here's the final bonus riddle. I'll put the answer in the description tomorrow. I lost Kurt for about 25 minutes because I gave him another riddle.
I did get it.
You did?
But there's clearly some clever rotational or, you know, there's some very intuitive way of seeing this.
I feel like I know what you're gonna do with the rest of your evening. I give you a math problem and you're like, oh, I'm like, Kurt, can we do an outro? You're like, just a minute. This is amazing. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. This was so much fun for me.
Thank you guys for watching. It was a fun guest.
And happy physicsing.
Yeah.